Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will see what are the characteristics of the sensors. So here all the sensors, this can be defined by their ability in order to measure or capture a certain phenomenon and report them as output signals to various other systems. But even within the same sensor type and the class, sensors can be characterized by their ability to sense the phenomenon based on the following three fundamental properties, that are the sensor resolution, sensor accuracy, and the sensor precision. Now we'll see first what is sensor resolution. Sensor resolution, it is the smallest change in the measurable quantity that a sensor can detect. And here the resolution tells us how finely a sensor can detect the changes. That is, how small a change it can notice. So one example is the temperature sensor, where you will be having two sensors, sensor A and sensor B. Sensor A will show the temperature as 30 degrees Celsius, 30.5 degrees Celsius, and 31.0 degrees Celsius. Whereas sensor B shows the temperature as 30, 30.25, 30.50. So sensor B, it can detect smaller changes, so it has higher resolution. Okay, here it can detect the higher resolution. Why? Because it is detecting the smaller changes. That is, after decimal point you have only 0 here, then 30.5, 31.0, but here you have 30.00, 30.25, 30.50. So you have two decimal places here in the sensor B, whereas here you have only one decimal place, up to one decimal place. So sensor B can detect the smaller changes, and it has higher resolution. So resolution, it is the smallest change a sensor can see. So the more the resolution of a sensor, the more accurate is the precision. And here a sensor's accuracy, okay, sensor's accuracy, it does not depend upon its resolution. So high resolution doesn't means that it has high accuracy. So the resolution, it will only tell you how detailed the measurement is. Next is the sensor accuracy. So the sensor accuracy of the sensor accuracy, it is the ability of the sensor to measure the environment of a system as close to its true measure as possible. That is, accuracy will tell you how correct the sensor reading is. That is, how close is it to the true value. One example is about weight. Actual weight is 100 kg, but the sensor shows 99.98 kgs. So here the sensor is very close to the real value, therefore it is highly accurate. So accuracy means closeness to the true or actual value. Now here a sensor can be accurate, but it can have low resolution. And here it can be of high resolution, but it can be inaccurate. Okay, so here you can say that the sensor is 99.98% accurate with an error rate of 0.02%. This is about the sensor accuracy. Next is about the sensor precision. So sensor precision, it is the principle of repeatability which governs the precision of a sensor. And here only if upon multiple repetitions the sensor is found to have the same error rate, then it can be deemed as a highly precision sensor, and it can be deemed as highly precise. So precision is about the repeatability, and it give the same reading again and again. Suppose again you are measuring some weight repeatedly. Reading 1 you'll get it as 98.5 kg. Reading 2 also you'll get it as 98.5 kg. Again reading 3 will be same. Even if the value is wrong, the sensor is precise. Why? Because it is repeating the same value. These measuring the weight can be, it may be wrong, but every time it is giving the same value, therefore it is precise. Okay, so precise means consistency of readings, and precise, it doesn't mean it is accurate, and accurate, it does not means it is precise. Okay, so here you can take one example of the dartboard. In dartboard, accuracy is nothing but how close the darts hit the center. Okay, so here this is high accuracy. Then precision is how close the darts are to each other. Here you can say that it is having low accuracy, but it is having high precision. Why? Because the darts are close to each other. Resolution is how finely you can judge whether the dart is landed. Okay, that is the resolution. So resolution, it is nothing but the small change detected. Accuracy is closeness to the value, to the true value. Okay, closeness to the true value. And precision is repeatability of readings. Fine. So precision is repeatability of readings. Here you can say it is having high precision because the values are being repeated. And this is about the resolution. So here it is having a standard resolution, and here the resolution is increased. As there are more number of rings, the resolution is increased. Here it is somewhat less than this number of rings, therefore it is a standard resolution. Whereas here you can see in this figure the number of rings are less, therefore it is having the low resolution, whereas this has very high resolution. The number of rings are more here. Okay, so this is about the sensor characteristics. Thank you.